Have you ever felt like the world was hiding something right under your nose? I was hiking in the deep woods, just a few miles behind the old, rusted gates of the abandoned Playtime Company factory when I saw it. Tucked away under a pile of glowing purple moss was an egg. But it wasn't a normal egg. It was heavy, warm, and pulsing with a soft violet light. I could hear a faint heartbeat coming from inside, mixed with a sound I can only describe as a mechanical purr. I knew I shouldn't take it, but something about the crescent moon symbol etched into the shell called to me. I brought it home and kept it under a heat lamp, not knowing if I was about to meet a friend or a nightmare. On the third night, the vibrations became intense. The air in my room started to smell like lavender, thick, sweet, and heavy. Then, the first crack appeared. A tiny, clawed purple paw poked through the shell, followed by two wide, unblinking eyes. This was the moment my life changed forever. Everyone, meet CatNap, my new and very real best friend. The first few days were a chaotic blur. Have you ever tried to bottle feed a creature that produces its own sedative gas? Yeah, it's not easy. He refused milk, he refused kitten food, he even refused steak. I was starting to panic until a blueberry fell off my plate. He pounced on it like it was his prey. From that day on, he was a blueberry addict. Seeing his little purple face stained with blue juice was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. But it wasn't all sunshine and berries. CatNap is different. His skin feels like a mix of soft fur and expensive velvet. And that stitched smile, it's not just for show. It actually grows as he does. At night, he wouldn't sleep in a bed. He'd hover near the ceiling, his moon pendant glowing like a nightlight. I realized very quickly that I wasn't just raising a cat. I was raising something that defied the laws of biology. He was a miracle wrapped in purple fur. By month 3, the tiny kitten phase was officially over. CatNap hit a massive growth spurt, and my apartment started feeling like a dollhouse. He went from the size of a cat to the size of a wolf in a matter of weeks. I had to replace my leather sofa because his playful scratches were more like chainsaw cuts. But he wasn't trying to be destructive. He just didn't know his own strength. Taking him to the vet was an absolute disaster. The moment we walked into the waiting room, every dog there stopped barking and started whimpering. They knew. They felt the predator in him. Even the vet was shaking as she checked his heartbeat. "I've never seen anatomy like this," she whispered. Neither had I. But when he looked at me and tilted his head, letting out that weird, melodic chirp, I didn't see a monster. I saw a teenager trying to find his place in a world that wasn't built for him. As he grew, so did his abilities. The lavender gas he breathes out isn't just a defense mechanism, it's a gift. Whenever I had a rough day or couldn't stop my mind from racing at 3 a.m., he would sense it. He'd crawl onto the foot of my bed, curl his long tail around my legs, and release a thin, beautiful trail of purple mist. It's the best sleep I've ever had. It feels like floating on a cloud made of silk. But there's a darker side too. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, I'll wake up and see him standing by the front door. His eyes won't be black anymore. They'll be glowing a piercing, predatory red. He stands guard, silent and motionless, watching the shadows. I've watched him scare off burglars and even wild animals just by standing there. He's my guardian, my silent protector. He even learned how to help around the house. His tail is basically a third arm. He can grab the remote, close the curtains, or even hand me a soda while I'm on the couch. He's the smartest being I've ever met. Recently, something shifted. We were watching an old documentary about the Playtime Co factory, and the second he saw the logo, he stopped moving. He didn't blink for 10 minutes. I could feel the sadness radiating off him. I knew he needed closure. We drove down to the old ruins in my truck. Seeing him stand before those rusted gates was heartbreaking. He looked so big in my house, but against the factory, he looked like a lost child again. He wandered through the dusty corridors, sniffing the air, finding the room where he was likely created. He found a broken toy, a tiny version of himself, and he just held it. In that moment, I realized he had a choice. He could stay here, in the world he was made for, or come back to the world that loved him. He looked at the dark, empty hallways, and then he looked at me. He chose me. He walked out of that darkness and into the sunlight, leaving his past behind for good. Today, CatNap is a full-grown legend. He's a giant, a protector, and a brother to the little ginger kitten we adopted last month. Watching this 3-meter-tall monster gently groom a tiny kitten is the most wholesome thing you'll ever see. It reminds me every day that nature isn't just about how you're born, it's about how you're loved. I still don't know where that egg really came from or who sent it, but I'm grateful every single day that I found it. My life is full of purple fur, lavender-scented dreams, and a bond that transcends species. So I have to ask you, if you found a mysterious egg in the woods, would you bring it home? Would you be brave enough to love a monster? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of our adventures. This was CatNap in real life. Stay curious, guys. See you in the next one.